Hi, my name is Maren Stevens, and I'm a graduate student in the Clinical Mental Health Counseling program at Liberty University. For this career development proposal, I developed a center called Thriving with POTS. Thriving with POTS will offer career development services to patients with postural orthostatic tachycardia syndrome, also known as POTS, in the Honolulu, Hawaii area. The center will be located in downtown Honolulu in the Queens Medical Center, which is next door to the Heart Institute. Patients with POTS are typically female. Bourne found that 95% of patients are female, and she found that in 2021. Onset typically begins in late adolescence or young adulthood. Because the population of POTS patients is small, having a prevalence of about 0.2 to 1.5% of the population, according to Klein and Enhart 2022, services will be offered to any age and gender, but it is estimated that 90 to 95% of the clients utilizing the service will be about 16 to 30-year-old women, as the average onset is about 19 years old. What is POTS? Not many people know what POTS is. It is a relatively understudied and underdiagnosed syndrome. There are not many providers or treatment options for patients with POTS, but it has been gaining more attention in recent years. Before going into the location and services of this career development program, it is beneficial to know what POTS is in order to understand the symptoms, severity, and challenges this population faces, and to have better insight into why career intervention is so important. Postural orthostatic tachycardia syndrome, POTS, is a form of orthostatic intolerance that includes a heart rate that is increased by over 30 beats per minute when standing, even for only 5 minutes. It is a disorder of the autonomic nervous system, which is worsened when in the upright position. POTS can result from the inability to maintain constriction of the blood vessels in the lower body and often includes low blood volume. POTS primarily affects women and causes substantial impairment. Symptoms include tachycardia, chest pains, dizziness, nausea, fainting, anxiety, fatigue, sweating, exercise intolerance, decreased concentration, brain fog, headaches, sleep and cognitive impairments, and the pooling of blood in the extremities. The average time to diagnosis is 5 years and 11 months, almost 6 years. That was found by Klein and Enhart 2022. By the same authors, they also found that functional disability is reportedly similar to that found in chronic obstructive pulmonary disease and congestive heart failure. This center will be located in the Queens Medical Center, which has a heart institute, neurology center, diagnostic laboratory, and infusion center. These clinics are often visited by POTS patients. Additionally, the office space on the 5th floor next to the Heart Institute is used as a pop-up clinic for dysautonomia in POTS patients. Currently, it is only used for half the week. Thriving with POTS intends to split this space with the dysautonomia clinic to serve this population. The office is about 2,200 square feet with a reception and waiting area, a communal space, and several small office or room spaces. Additionally, this program will serve those with dysautonomia symptoms that are similar to POTS but have not received a POTS diagnosis. Queens Medical Center is one of the largest hospitals on the island and is located right in the middle of downtown Honolulu, making it an excellent space. It is also the only area on the island with a dysautonomia clinic and POTS physicians. It is located by the University of Hawaii, which is beneficial because the onset of POTS is often during late adolescence and during the college age. Thriving with POTS aims to provide POTS patients with career development planning, accessibility resources, and encouragement to increase self-efficacy, occupational skills, and employment opportunities. Patients will incorporate their illness into their sense of self, resulting in resilience. Additionally, participants will utilize the center strategies such as online assessments, career counseling, and group counseling to identify and develop their strengths, weaknesses, aptitudes, limitations, and interests. Daily tasks with POTS is difficult and often debilitating. A patient with POTS uses about 3 times as much energy just to stand, which makes working increasingly challenging. Episodes of exacerbated symptom presentation are common, unpredictable, and triggered by minor environmental factors such as heat or walking. Information about the occupational and economic impacts of POTS is limited. However, a survey of POTS patients by Bourne and colleagues about 2021 found that within the last 3 months, around half of POTS patients have been unemployed. Over 25% are unable to work entirely, seeking disability to cover living costs. Of the POTS patients who are working, 66.8% would work greater hours if not for illness limitations. 70.5% of participants have lost income due to POTS symptoms. About 21% lost a job due to POTS. 95% of participants reported POTS-related out-of-pocket medical expenses since their diagnosis, with 51.1% of participants spending over $10,000 US or more. It's evident that individuals with POTS face economic and employment disadvantages. Individuals with POTS often have to exert energy beyond their physical and mental limits to gain employment, and that was found by Goodall and colleagues 2022. Additionally, Dispenza et al. 2019 explained that individuals with disabilities face stereotypes, stress, social barriers, and discrimination. They also found that lowered self-esteem and increased risk of poverty is found in those with POTS. Although the ADA protects individuals with disabilities from discrimination and exclusion, many are not aware of the American Disability Act and the rights and resources they are entitled to. A career center for this population would ensure clients with POTS have access to accommodations by educating them about available services and how to request and receive support. To assess clients in this program, semi-structured informal interviews will take place to gather information about their symptom severity, work experience, view of the role of work, how disability influences career, what barriers they experience, and what that means to them. Interviewing would also be used to analyze their level and domains of impairment and symptom presence. A diagnosis by a doctor would be used to screen participants. Additionally, we would use a value sort activity or the value scale, which is based on Super's theory. This assessment would clarify self-information, values, and aptitudes to explore occupations. Our center would use the Actions and Feelings Questionnaire and the Standard Self-Directed Search, or SDS, which measures personality type and interest. The SDS divides users into Holland occupational groups. This assessment is excellent because it can encompass multiple languages, reading levels, and age ranges. It will then connect to the ONET profiler for further exploration. Additionally, the Career Belief Inventory, or CBI, could be used to address barriers and beliefs, especially in concern to disability. These assessments will be used to connect values, beliefs, and needs to interests and aptitudes. The counselor would then assist the client in creating a career plan and setting goals. When implementing career development strategies, it is essential to consider the role of one's environment and capabilities. Self-determination, autonomy, and empowerment are facilitators to career development in individuals with disabilities. The following theories will be used to address other barriers and facilitators to career development within POTS patients. According to Niles and Harris-Polsby, 2022, Super's lifespan and archway model incorporates contextual factors with life roles and self-concept to create career development patterns. Dispenza et al. 2019 found that this is particularly helpful for individuals with disabilities because it emphasizes the barriers and stereotypes as well as disability-related limitations that narrow down career opportunities. Their career program for POTS patients aims to improve self-esteem and employment outcomes by encouraging exploration, promoting independence, and focusing on positively associating and integrating POTS with one's personality. In addition, Niles and Bowlesby 2022 social cognitive theory will be implemented to increase self-efficacy, manage outcome expectations, and expand goal setting. Gottfridson's theory of circumscription and compromise theorizes that people develop career concepts based on their sociodemographics, lifestyle, or stereotypes. Circumscription defines the process of career elimination and maintaining realistic or personal career goals by developing alternatives. According to Niles and Harris-Polsby 2022, compromise is when a career is rejected for a more realistic and compatible one. Thriving with POTS will open up avenues for clients to open up unnecessarily rejected career paths and to find alternative career plans that incorporate both interest and ability with concern to POTS. This program will promote a positive and inclusive environment to succeed in career planning. The Thriving with POTS career development program will prove to be beneficial to POTS patients by increasing employment skills and opportunities, thereby increasing self-efficacy and autonomy. The main goal for individuals with POTS is to move them away from crisis and into self-sufficiency, and that was stated by Bourne et al. 2021. This program would do just that. For this program, standards were taken from the NCDA National Career Development Guidelines Framework Indicators from Niles and Harris-Polsby 2022. The main focus of our career intervention services will focus on goal PS1, develop understanding of yourself to build and maintain a positive self-concept. Under this goal is PS1 K2, A2, and R2, which states identify your abilities, strengths, skills, and talents, demonstrate use of your abilities, strengths, skills, and talents, and assess the impact of your abilities, strengths, skills, and talents on your career development. We will also be forming our objectives around goal PS3, integrate growth and change into your career development, followed by subdomains PS3, K5, A5, and R5. Identify situations in which you might need assistance from people or other resources. Demonstrate the ability to seek assistance from appropriate resources, including other people. And assess the effectiveness of your strategies for getting assistance from appropriate resources, including other people. CM1 states create and manage a career plan that meets your career goals. Underneath CM1, our goals will be to describe how to develop a career plan to meet your current career goals, analyze your career plan, and make adjustments to reflect ongoing career management needs. And those are from CM1, K2, A2, and R2. We will also be incorporating standards from ED1, attain educational achievement and performance levels needed to reach your personal and career goals. CM4, master academic, occupational, and general employability skills in order to obtain, create, maintain, and/or advance your employment. And PS4, balance personal, leisure, community, learner, family, and work roles. And this will be done in order to help participants find and maintain meaningful employment. Our first learning objective is to build self-efficacy by analyzing strengths, limitations, and skills, and by integrating factors and circumstances that affect the client's current lifestyle into career goals. By the end of 4 sessions, clients will feel confident in determining personal and external factors that impact their career development and will have integrated their diagnosis in a positive way into their self-concept. Learning objective 2 is to identify and develop the educational and occupational skills needed to reach career goals and become familiar with accommodation resources and problem-solving strategies. After 6 sessions, clients will be able to navigate, use, and request disability accommodations and will be knowledgeable of occupational, educational, and personal protections offered by the ADA. 3 months after beginning this program, clients will be able to describe and demonstrate the skills needed for their career goals, such as resume writing, job application processes, technical skills, and interpersonal skills. Clients will feel confident in applying for or continuing academic studies by learning time management, organizational, and study skills. Learning objective 3 is to create and implement a career plan that meets the goals, traits, interests, and disability-related limitations of the individual. At or before the end of 1 year, clients will be able to create and implement or begin implementing a career plan, such as job seeking and application skills. They shall be able to make an action plan, describe the career planning and implementation process, and be able to describe how to make decisions using their self-knowledge. It's also important to note that this career counseling program is not meant to be long-term. Each patient may finish the program earlier or later than others. It's a brief intervention focused on career strategies. Therefore, it might be noted that some of the learning objectives, like number 3, may be finished within a couple months compared to a year. The career development interventions for this program will focus on self-efficacy, career planning, and knowledge about resources. Social cognitive theory is at the root of many of these interventions, aiming to increase self-confidence and autonomy while managing outcome expectations. The first intervention is group therapy. This will take the form of a support group and will help participants develop interpersonal and communication skills while receiving support from their peers. This strategy allows the patients to relate to each other, build a community, and learn helpful techniques or career tips from others with the same barriers. Some group counseling sessions will include lessons or presentations from career counselors, social workers, doctors, or influential individuals with disabilities. It is possible that a minority of the group counseling sessions will focus on treatment options and symptom reduction, as other clients may have advice or questions about the chronic illness itself. For example, a support group topic may be a Q&A with a local physician who specializes in the health-promoting behaviors, or a rehabilitation or occupational therapist who describes low-impact exercises that are safe to do with POTS and may reduce symptoms or alleviate body aches from workplace strains. The second intervention is career counseling. This strategy utilizes Super's life stage theory. Clients will engage in a one-on-one brief counseling session with an LPC to clarify goals and interests, develop self-knowledge, and discuss past decision-making strategies or barriers. These sessions allow the client to identify and explore the values, beliefs, and attitudes they hold. Counselors will assist with this process by urging the client to imagine their dream career and then discuss the limitations and skills the client may have. The counselor will provide encouragement and support as the client prepares to make career selections. Some of the counseling may be centered around the impact of POTS on the patient's quality of life and self-esteem. Coping mechanisms to deal with stressors and reduce symptoms would be helpful to the client. The third intervention is an accessibility, accommodation, and disability resources workshop. Every other week, representatives from Community, Employment, and Educational Accommodation Center will join our Career Center to help clients with disability applications and to provide resources. The clients will learn what accommodations and protections they are entitled to under the ADA. Clients will learn how to discuss their illness with a potential employer or teacher. They will also learn how to modify their work environment to fit their needs, such as working part-time from home, using a footrest to prevent fainting, or requesting more frequent breaks throughout the day. Clients will be made aware of other resources that they may not have known about, such as wheelchair services at malls, free mental health counseling, or loan forgiveness or grants due to their disability. And the last intervention is an online career planning and development session. Gottfredson's career theory, according to Niles and Harris-Bowlesby 2022, encourages individuals to find occupational alternatives that meet both their individual interests and their abilities, and are realistic and accessible. The Thriving with POTS Center will feature a common room with laptops and assessment instruments. A group of up to 10 clients will work in this room with 1 or 2 career counselors. This session can be used for taking assessments, researching and learning about career opportunities, writing an essay, or searching for job openings. The client will learn to navigate the OneNet Interest Profiler, MBTI, and other assessments that will help them gain insight into their interests and aptitudes. A goal of this strategy is for the clients to also become familiar with navigating disability resource sites and accommodation platforms. To deliver this program, there will be possible online appointments due to the symptoms of POTS patients, such as fatigue, dizziness, fainting, and mobility issues. It's a huge task to come in for appointments. This allows them to get help within their home when they're unable to leave. We plan to recruit volunteers and LPCs to work at the center. Internships will be provided for graduate, undergraduate, and medical students. These students will help with appointment making, outreach, and other tasks that do not require a licensed professional. They may also have the opportunity to observe and participate in group therapy sessions. Consulting and collaboration will be done with neurology, cardiology, and dysautonomia clinics. These clinics, in addition to the diagnostic laboratory and infusion center, will aid with referral and will provide information to clients with POTS. Our team will consult with them to observe trends and learn more about client needs. We will also meet with the Dysautonomia Pop-Up Clinic, Hospital Management, and Hawaii Disability Employment Initiative Program Office to discuss location, possible grants, and implementation. Collaboration with the Board of Counseling will occur if needed. We also plan to discuss this program with existing POTS research and information centers and foundations to learn more about possible funding and grants to make this program a nonprofit. This will also help us stay up to date on current research and provide our own evaluations for these centers to utilize. We plan on working with the Dysautonomia Clinic for referrals. Marketing will also occur in doctors' offices, diagnostic laboratory services, and other related clinics. We plan to attend medical conferences having to do with this population and topic in order to network. Thriving with POTS will set up a campus booth once a week at the University of Hawaii Common Area outside the disability offices. Infographics and flyers will be posted in doctors' offices, the U of H Disability Office, and community disability offices. Social media will be a big part of our marketing strategy. This age group is commonly active online. Instagram posts will give tips and information. Our website will also share about our mission and goals while providing a space for donations. This website will be a portal for creating online appointments, scheduling, and finding out information about the center. It will also give information about POTS and the need for career interventions. Our Career Center plans to have a social media marketer or designer. We will ask POTS centers such as Standing Up to POTS, Dysautonomia International, and the POTS Clinic to repost our media and help spread awareness. We will also use TikTok because we are trying to reach a moderately young population, one who often finds information through TikTok. The following are mock-ups for our marketing strategies. The posts and infographics used will be clean, easy to read, and appealing to look at. Aesthetics are important to millennials and Gen Z patients, thus the need for creative posts. Our logo features an IV bag with flowers, correlating with our name, Thriving with Pots. Natures and flowers are a common theme in our designs, along with a neutral and nature-themed color palette. And this is an example of one of our Instagram posts and an infographic. This is an example of a flyer or pamphlet that we will put in doctor's offices and other outreach areas. It kind of talks about our mission, our services, and gives information for how to connect and schedule an appointment with the center. For the resource and cost projections, the office space is just under 2,200 square feet at $23 per square foot a year. This may seem expensive, but it's also in downtown Honolulu, which has very high housing and employment fees. So this results in about $12,000 a month in Hawaii, which is a total of $144,000 a year. Part of the cost, though, will be covered by the hospital. The space will be shared with the Dysautonomia Clinic, so rent will be split to equal about $72,000 a year. For electronics and Wi-Fi is already available in the building due to it being a hospital. There's also 2 computers already available from the Dysautonomia pop-up clinic. So we do plan on getting a couple more PCs and some Chromebooks for clients to use, leading our total to be about $9,700. And for office supplies, we estimated $1,300. Furnishing was estimated around $3,000 for a total of $4,300. The printing of the flyers, outreach, website, social media design, upkeep was estimated to be about $2,000 a year. And salaries, we estimated around $625,000 a year. This is from taking some counseling interns from the grad school program, volunteers, an outreach coordinator, which will make about $50,000 a year, 5 LPCs and 2 disability social workers, and a social media marketer. The on-campus booth money would be about $1,500 yearly, and that's to set up the booth and have the infographics available at the University of Hawaii for our outreach program. We also wanted to note that there may be a reduction in price if grants, donations, funding, and sponsorships are available and are received, which we hope for. This makes our grand total to be about $715,000 a year. For the program evaluation, our first step is to survey those who went through the program and those who didn't to evaluate program outcomes. This will be done using a self-efficacy scale, which is kind of based on those used in the work self-efficacy scale or general self-efficacy inventory. Patients who completed the program and patients who did not will be given a survey to complete. This survey has a Likert scale format. This test evaluates one's beliefs in work performance and the ability to do tasks such as learn new methods, work well with colleagues, and manage a schedule. This evaluation seeks to measure self-efficacy and work-related beliefs to examine learning outcomes. A link and example of this survey are provided on the following slide. And then for their second evaluation, we plan to do a pre-test and post-test among participants in the program with an informal self-efficacy scale and questionnaire that evaluates learning objectives. The survey will ask participants to rate how well they can do each task or criteria on a scale. The questionnaire will also include an area to describe what was the most beneficial from the program and include any tips for improvement. A sample survey is attached in the next slide. The pre-test and post-test will measure program learning objective achievements after completion of the program. The results of these evaluations will be used to improve the program, implement new strategies, and discover more about the target population's needs. The results will also indicate the effectiveness of this program in increasing self-efficacy and improving career development for this population. We plan on giving the results of these evaluations over to POTS research centers such as Dysautonomia International or the Cleveland Clinic POTS Center. And then these are the links to both the surveys and screenshots of the program versus control group survey. Just some examples from the survey, what we plan on asking, and the format of that exam. Also at the bottom there is free response to answer a couple of the questions related to future goals and the type of career plan that person currently is working on. And then these are my references. And slide 2 of references. Thank you so much for watching, and I really enjoyed this presentation.